Morning team. Sorry, running late today. Very slightly late. Okay, as always, going to start on the daily charts. Lots and lots to get through today. All right, lots to get through this morning. So stick with me. Let's be quick. As you can see, we're still in this channel. All right, we're in this channel and we've remained in this channel since, well, I could actually argue since the beginning of May in this uptrend. We peeked through it by a tiny bit, coming down to the lower Bollinger Band. So on Friday, we did a 4 sigma move. All right, we traded from the upper Bollinger Band through the 20-day to the lower Bollinger Band, no acceptance below that, and came back inside. If you're wondering what this is the 50-day SMA. All right, so we're trading inside here. That was 4 sigma. This is 2 standard deviation. This is 2 standard deviation. And guess what? We've just completed the mean reversion back to the 20-day. And the 5-day, all right, straight out the weekly newsletter. What's the battleground? 24/7 to 25,000. Right here is your battleground. Why? Because daily participants, if bears really want to come in, they're gonna have to come in here and leave these buyers stuck up here for that rotation back down. All right, this is battleground level. Do not come to this market and think, hey, Mr. Taco's giving us a headline, we're going straight back to all-time highs. Bollocks, absolute bollocks. Do not believe, right, all the hype on the media right now. You have Bollinger Bands which are starting to squeeze. Look, squeezing, open, squeezing, conversion of SMAs. Follow the volume. Who is trapped? I'll tell you, every single participant in October who has been a buyer is currently trapped up here. We do not get long into trapped participants, all right? We have not come down and made sure this is a double bottom yet. All we've done is offer some relief so far. Do not get overly biased thinking, hey, new all-time highs are coming right here, right now. If we get acceptance above here, we can think about building that liquidity, but I'd say the move really has been done in Globex already. And really, if we're going to get long, we'd want to see this gap filled, or at least partially filled, then a reclaim, then a hold, and then a drive out. And we're not going to see that in one session. So this week, you're going to need to be patient and let it build out. These are the levels straight out of the playbook. These are the levels. If we reject here, we expect at least a retest towards the low. If we break that low, then everyone who just got long is going to get trapped. And that might be a play later this week. I'd be looking for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, either this move here or this move here. Until then, I expect lots of liquidity to be built out in there. All right, it's going to take liquidity. We're going to have to repair some levels. Let's go through the hourly. All right, so you can see, just stay with me here. All right, on this screen, make sure you can see it all. This hourly right here, this grey box is the gap. All right, there's Friday's low, there's the gap. That box is not a joke, right? It's 2, 3, 4, 400 plus points big just for the gap, all right, which has not been revisited. Overnight, big drive out higher, pullback, reclaimed previous day value area low, reclaimed the 700s. That's your first battleground. Drove up towards where? 25,000, right? It came 40, 50 points short of 25,000. Above this is where every participant is stuck. You can see it here. Imagine you were a breakout buyer above here. This was a short. This was the breakout buy. This was the reclaim of the buy. This was a buy. This was also a buy. This was a buy. This was a buy. This is a buy. Everyone above here is still stuck. All right, please follow the money. Follow the volume. Until we reclaim previous week value area low, there is a good chance those participants stay stuck. If, and it is a big if, we start reclaiming previous week value area low, then maybe in here we build out liquidity between previous week and point of control in here, because this is thin. This is where we failed from. But I do not expect us to reclaim this all in one session, all right? And I don't expect the move to come from sort of 24 to 25,000, 1,000 point and reclaim in one session. Maybe it does. We are in abnormal times, but all I'm trying to say is don't be overly bullish off some headlines, all right? Overnight, what have we done? We've just moved sideways, all right? We gapped up, Asia moved sideways, London expanded the range, came back into sweep Asia low, back into the middle, right? Here's your box. That box is the same level we went over. Basically, you might as well call it 800s. It's basically 700 to 25K. I expect rotation to take place in and around here. It can come down here and come back up. It can come up here and come back down. This is going to be a big liquidity building phase of the market while it makes up its mind, right? Market is not going to go risk off for a comment made on Friday and then back risk on for him saying, don't worry about China. That doesn't mean anything. It's a headline. It's just a headline. Follow the volume, follow the money, all right? Don't get too pulled in to what people are saying on Twitter and stuff like that. All right, let's go into the lower time frames, get ourselves set up. I'm going to go through all the other assets very quickly as well. All right, there's your box. There's your overnight range. We're trading inside overnight value, which is about 100 points right now. So no acceptance beyond overnight value. This is overnight. This is previous day. So we're in previous day value. We're building out overnight value. We are not recovering. This is the odd thing. Previous day point of control was left up right up here. If we start recovering 25,000, right, we're very thin for this move. We are very thin for this move, which is why I expect most of those pushes into 25,000 to be failed breakouts and pull back down. Buyers will want to buy down here. If we're truly going to go up here, they'll want to see this make a double bottom down here before reclaiming. So I think this week it's going to take time to develop. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but like I said, unprecedented times. Right, let's have a look. ES are going to be very much the same. Let's get rid of these old levels. Same kind of thing here on ES. If we zoom out, let's go to a 15-minute. Everyone right now from October, this is the new month, remember, October, bang, here. Right, everyone from October is still trapped overhead. That will be a 61% pullback if it's like the NQ. There you go, bang into the 61 and rejecting. All right, that is your short level at 61. So fib players and people that are playing against volume are currently short in here. All right, you got lots of bulls, got very excited on that headline yesterday. Until we start reclaiming these levels, we'll be very skeptical about getting too bullish up high in supply. You are asking to get hurt. If you are adamant in getting bullish up here, you are asking to get hurt. It doesn't mean it's an instant short, but it's going to need to build out. Okay, VIX still in the 20s. All right, so a slight gap down on the VIX. Remember, we've built out new liquidity on the VIX. Any hold over 17.15 is fine. You can see we're starting to reject this old level. So there's the VIX. Drive, gap down. Here's the failure. If VIX breaks this low, yes, maybe the market can go risk on if we're going to come back down into the 16s and 17s. But if we start reclaiming this and gap filling and doing this kind of grindy move, and this will be the liquidity build up high, that will be a risk off scenario. Dixie, all right, is also breaking higher, all right? We've been looking for this to be a fade. It's not fading. It's starting to break out higher. That's a good move and a good hold on the Dixie. That would normally start to sign a risk off scenario. Let's go for the last thing before we get into what a mess. What a mess. 10-year treasuries in rotation. All right, if this starts coming down underneath this, maybe the market can get risk on. We will have to see. But they all seem a little uncorrelated right now for my liking. Right, let's go into the MAG. Nice gap up, as you would expect. But again, same story here as we're seeing on everything. Apple has left buyers trapped up high, right? Until it starts reclaiming the 50s and reclaiming this range, it would need this to be a failed breakout and a reclaim. We haven't even done a first test of this yet, all right? I expect Apple to get stuck. I do not expect these to just go instant reclaim and higher unless something significantly changes. Amazon, nice gap up, but fading off that pre-market, already coming back down towards that gap fill. Again, same story. And this has been in a downtrend, so Amazon even worse. There's the buyer stuck. There's the break. There's more buyers stuck. There's the break. There's the pullback. If they reject this, we will retest this low. All right. I'm bullish on all these products. If we retest the low, hold it, and then reclaim. All right. I would need to see that first to get really interested. Goog, nice gap up. But again, same story here, folks. Here's your level from Thursday. Pullback. Friday. It's trying to hold here. Remember, Google's been the weakest out of the bunch, right? So it's got the longest to go back if it's going to do it. But still, nice gap up on Goog. 5-6 points. Can it hold it? Meta, same story. Big flush Friday, 61 fib, gapping up. But can it reclaim this kind of range up here to get going? All right, this still looks bearish to me. This is a bearish range down here. Fail breakout, back into range. Microsoft, same story. Gapping up, but lots of buyers trapped overhead, right? Buyers pushed it up. There's the breakout, failed, dropped down, retesting where those buyers are trapped. If we sell from there, it's going to be a problem. If we reclaim it, maybe we go bullish. Nvidia, that is strong. Out of them all, that's strong. Again, you have 2 days worth of balance trapped up here, but really it's very, very good. If we zoom out, that's really good. Solid move and trying to reclaim, but it's got to get back into 190s to hold. And Tesla, same story. All right, everyone trapped above this right now. There's your failed breakout. There's the rejection. There's the wash back to the underside of range. If it rejects this on Tesla, it's going to move lower. Again, none of these moves have to happen today, but I just want you to understand the importance of understanding where you are in the market. AMD, same thing. Buyers currently trapped up overhead here. You can see, right? If we reject this and start breaking down, it will go for gap fill. Remember, I am long in this from 158, so I still haven't taken profit on this, but I'm trying to hold for 5+ years. But we'll see. If we start being unable to reclaim, I will obviously trim my position. And let's have a quick look at some of the others. PayPal, same story. REN looks good. IONQ had a gap up today. MVTS still holding well. Still no relief. That's annoying. That's a gap up as well. All right. I'm going to take these off because these are going to flash a lot today as we go in rotation. I don't want my screen getting too busy. There we go. So you should know what we're looking for. So far, supply up here, demand down here overnight. We're inside previous day's value. We have not reclaimed previous week's value. We have buyers trapped from the whole month above us. All right, simple as that. Buyers from the month are trapped above us. We're going to respect that. Do me a favor, folks. Let's hit that like button nice and early. Let's get that out of the way. Market opening up here in 15 seconds. Let's close this poll. I'm not going to have time to go through all the good mornings today, but I hope you all had a magnificent weekend. And maybe some of you had a good trading session overnight. Let me know if you had a good trading session overnight. I'd be very interested. Don't be scared to just let this calm down here this morning and the open. I expect a lot of liquidity to be built here. Remember, a lot of people might have been margin called, waking up to those margin calls this morning as well. If they didn't get liquidated last week, they might well get liquidated here at the open. It all depends what this market on open needs to go through. Good morning all. Sorry, just trying to get through the catch up with the messages now. Did you all have a good weekend? Did any of you trade this overnight? Hopefully some of you did. You're going to have to watch your sizing today, folks. The ATR is going to be large, all right? Respect the ATR. What were, 20-point rotations are likely to be 100 to 200-point rotations today. Respect the ATR. We've had big moves overnight. Currently, we're stuck at that New York Open. We're not trading edge to edge yet. We're right in the middle. If we think about where we are, we're right in the middle right now. Globex high, Globex low. Right, if we think about this, no edge here. Right, we're opening up right in the middle of it. Well, maybe slightly to the downside, but just let it settle down. I'll give you a readout. As you can imagine, everything's gapping up this morning, right? Tesla almost 3% up, Nvidia 3.30% up, Nvidia 0.75% up, Meta 1% up, Google 2% up, Amazon 0.2% up, Apple 1% up. But remember, most of those lost between 3 and 5%, some of them even more last week. Or on Friday, I should say, rather than last week. Do I think VIX will retest previous day high? I have no idea. I'm sure at some point it will. But at the moment, you got to think Friday was a big overreaction. All right, that was a big overreaction. Why do I say it's a big overreaction? Because it was panic. Right, when you get panic, you get overreactions. We sold 4 standard deviations. Just think about that. We went from the top Bollinger Band to the lower Bollinger Band in one session, not even in one day, in one session. That is an overreaction, right? We don't close under that lower Bollinger Band because that would be absolutely ludicrous. We bounce back in the Sunday night session. So in Asia, London, we've already completed half of the move back. In fact, we've completed 61% of the move back on the fib to test out that 20-day moving average. So the question right now you should be asking yourself straight out the newsletter, are sellers going to come in and leave those buyers from the last month trapped up high? Are we going to make a lower high on the daily? And it will only get confirmed as the downtrend. I'll repeat this. The downtrend is only confirmed if we start breaking out of those lows on a daily. Until that point, there is absolutely nothing confirmed. All right, here is the wash. So I'm in this short now versus VWAP. Just one little starter. And I'm going to see if we can take out these 780s and then come back down to demand. Because we've rejected the New York Open. Already moving my stop into the money here because we are heavy versus 800 now. So stop into 800. Let's see if we can get some follow through. Nice. Watching the book here. 760 on the book. Is there much below? Yes, there is a bit below. Okay, here's TP1 coming up. Just want to see if we can rotate. No, I'm not scalping long. I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm scalping short here. And let's get rid of that. And then this is overnight value area low that we're trading into here. So I want to see if we take that out. Already covering some. So reclaim 800, I'll be out here if it closes back above 800. If we keep rejecting it, I'll keep looking for that rotation lower. ES starting to hold on to VWAPs. I need to be careful of that. It's trapped between 2 VWAPs right now. Nice. Okay, TP1 hit. Is there any more follow through? So through the overnight session low, here's the follow through. Beautiful. Well, I said, do not be too biased getting long at the open. Bang, love it. All right, coming back down towards that demand block right now and Globex low. Lovely jubbly. So covering some here. We're through the overnight value area low. We're into that demand block. We're into Globex here. So covering some there. It might not look like much, but it's like, oof, like 50, 60 point trade already. There we go, into demand. Holding runners now. Might come down and test previous day value area low here, folks. If we stay heavy, that previous day value area low can be tested. Beautiful. I expect some bids to start coming in here soon. Remember, this is what I'm saying. Do not be overly bullish. Have we revisited those lows? Have we protected the gap? Have we showed any reason right now to say, hey, high time frame bulls are in absolute control? No. All we've had is a relief bounce. We don't move straight up or straight down. We moved straight down Friday. Overnight, we've basically moved straight back up to 61. We rejected 61. Now we're moving back downside. All right, so covering some here into the lower part of this box. We're starting to sweep. All right, we're starting to get interesting here. If we start fading underneath previous day value area low, we're going to attack that gap. But I'd expect some buyers to start trying to come in here soon between value area low and probably sort of 650s. Lovely. Really nice. Those VWAPs on ES holding it down there on that last push. Anyone who got short at the 20-day, which was 870s, anyone who got short up here at the 20-day, beautiful move after it's completed mean reversion. Really nice move, folks. Okay, so seeing some bids come in this area like we talked about. Remember, this is the area. We just went over it pre-market. Let's get you up so you can see. This is the bottom of where we found bids. All right, this was the area that they tried to reclaim. All right, there's the wash. There's the gap up. Here's the gap. Right, they reclaimed this. They went Asia, London, 61 fib and supply, reject, 20-day, 20-day, retap. So once, twice. Okay, let's check the lows. If they fail here, they're going to check this. If they fail this, they're coming into the gap. If they do a fail breakout here, we go back into the range rotation, which will be the same levels from the newsletter, 700 to 25,000. Just think about this. We failed into 25,000. We're coming back to 700. I expect liquidity to be built out in this area this week. It is my expectations. We cannot just move one way. Try and do their best to ignore people on Twitter saying, oh, we're going straight back to highs. We're going straight. We never go straight to anything. All right. Do not get caught up in the hysteria. Even my old man texts me, oh, are you brave enough to get short? Blah, blah. I'm like, mate, there's trap volume. All the time there's trap volume, I'm interested. I don't care. I don't care about, the comments made by Trump. What I care about now more than anything is who's trapped in the market. Buyers are trapped. For the last 12 days, buyers are trapped above us. That is about as much supply as you can ask for. Until that changes, we go into either range rotation or a breakdown. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so still, we're into this demand block. And I want to see if we can have any follow through or not. All right. If not, we're going to go back into the rotation back towards that Globex highs probably. QQQ into its gap. All right. Fading. It just came under that pre-market low, finding a bid. Okay. Fully out of this now. Can always re-add if it firms up into VWAP. If we start reclaiming everything, then again, we're just going to go into a giant range rotation. It's shown you, all right? It said, hey, here's the breakout, here's the range. All right, here's the failed breakout above here. This is the range. If we get below this, we check this and this. If we fail breakout and reclaim this, we come back to the upside. It's trying to show you what it wants to do, but you're going to have to trim your size down. The moves are no joke. You're looking at 30 plus points without big moves, right? Without panic coming in. If big panic comes in or a big sentiment change, you're going to be looking at way, way more. So do bears try and force it here and get stuck in this demand block? Remember, we've just swept Globex. We just swept Asia. Maybe we retest 800s and see how we act there. Don't know. Bears are trying to hold this down at the moment, but there's no confirmation of a breakdown here. Not yet. Not yet. They're trying again here. Can they get that bear flag and follow through? If they do, then they're going to attack that previous day value area low. That's what we bid off all last night. All right, if anyone was watching that session open last night, all right, we kept bidding off this. The liquidity was built versus this level right here. All right, and in here, there was like a 400, 500, or 600 lot who kept walking up trying to get filled, and he got filled on that pullback, and once he was filled, we were off. So if anyone watched the tape yesterday, there was a lot of action going on last night. There's some big boy orders. Okay, here we go, like we said. Here's the move to VWAP and 800. I expect rotation. I cannot say that enough. I expect rotation for at least a few sessions. I do not expect like a breakout either side of the liquidity that we've got from Friday's low to sort of 25,000. I expect rotation to happen in there, and mainly between 700 and 5,000. You've got 300 points of range to do a dance in. And once they've got enough trapped, and we get maybe a new news piece, or they make their decision, or maybe it's PAL tomorrow. Once they've got enough trapped, they're going to use that, just like they did on Friday. Downside again, retesting these lows. Are they going to break down here to previous day value area low, Or is this where shorts get stuck in this potential demand block? Fully out of this now until we rebuild some structure. That makes this. So even this liquidity here, 50 odd points. AVGO pumping, is it? Thank you, Peter. Okay, here's New York VWAP. See if it pushes back up to 800s and gut checks that. And let's see if sellers come back in or not up there. But now we've got a double bottom in that blue box in demand. And sellers did get stuck down there, so they failed to get the breakdown. And we drive back up to this VWAP here. And this red line is anchored VWAP off that Friday break. All right, this is average price of sellers off the Friday high. I'm pretty sure. I just want to make sure. Yes, it is. All right, this is my anchored VWAP off Friday's high, the red line, just so you're aware. So back up towards that New York Open. Like I said, rotation. And if they reclaim that, they probably come back up and test 800, 900. And if they can get back to Globex, they will. And that is going to be the rotation. And we're going to keep rotating and frustrating traders looking for more or expansion beyond these levels. We've got to trade level to level, not beyond. You have to have discipline. Write out the newsletter. All right. Think about where we are. Zoom out. Make sure you're zoomed out. We are not bullish and we're not confirmed daily and weekly bearish until we break Friday's lows, which means we have to set a lower high on a daily. Where we've traded into overnight would be a good area to set it. Anywhere around here. So like what would cause a liquidation? Let's say we set a lower high into and around 25,000 and then we wake up tomorrow or Wednesday and there's a gap down underneath 24,700. Then we'd have more buyers and more liquidity stuck, and then we'd probably retest Friday's low. If we break Friday's low, there will be a new leg down. All right. If we build this liquidity, we come back down anywhere towards Friday's low and we find a bid and we drive back up, upside, reclaim 27, reclaim 25, we will be bullish to all-time highs. That's when I'll be very bullish to all-time highs. If we prove we can hold a low or do a failed breakout of a low, reclaim key levels, then we are definitely going all-time highs. Right now, I would say sellers from the last hour of Friday are stuck and buyers from the whole month are stuck. Yes, most of semiconductors are green, but what you guys need to remember is, yes, semiconductors are green, but we went through everything pre-market. All right, we're having a 3% bounce back, for example, on AMD when I think it had like a 10% down day. It means nothing. It's a bounce back. All right, it's just a bit of relief. So here we go, stuck again into VWAP and into New York and just above those 800s. You have, guys, you have to zoom out. You have to have, if you are not good at zooming out, this market, this type of market is the market that's going to wreck you. If you're like, oh, we're green, we're going up, you're going to get pumps in a market like this. It does not care about anything other than higher time frame levels right now. I will just keep repeating, we are going to keep building out liquidity until enough people are stuck, until we do enough gut checks that we make a decision. We are in a 300-point range of liquidity build right now. 300 points, 700 to 25,000. That's your liquidity build range, roughly. And don't worry about, oh, this is green today. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It can be, if we've gone 10% down, 3% back up, and everyone's trapped overhead, that's a move up to be sold into until it proves otherwise. Until it proves otherwise. Imagine you took calls at the close at Friday and you woke up today. You're up big. What are you doing? You're getting rid of those calls, right? You're taking some profits because there's nothing in the chart to say we're going back to all-time highs right now. There you go. Yeah, Foster, quite right. It was green. It was all green before the news on Friday. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, right? It doesn't mean anything. What matters is where volume is stuck. We have volume stuck. Remember on Friday, we created volume. If you think about what we did on Friday, we're doing the same thing now, but at a much bigger level. Friday, what was the level Friday? I said, just leave this alone. I kept telling you, leave this alone. All right, let it build out liquidity. There's your liquidity. All right, much tighter range, but it built out liquidity and we broke away from it. All right, what we're doing now is the same thing. All right, we've come all the way down. Remember, trends don't go straight. We don't go straight down. We don't go straight up. All right, there's the break. There's the move down. There's the bounce back. Here's the liquidity build. All right, we can easily do one of these. All right, this will offer leaving this a short here, and covers into there. Maybe it breaks down into that. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is where we find strength and we reclaim this range, and then we go back to all-time highs. But this here, right, you can play this. It's 300-point range, and because it's so big, you can play it. But it is a liquidity building stage of the market. All right, simple as that. Until we reclaim the areas where buyers are trapped from this month, I'd be very, very cautious about getting bullish up high. If this is your first time playing in markets like this, just size down or watch. Just size down or watch, but make sure you're zooming out. Right now, you're looking at a 1 minute. My screens are filled with 5-minute, hourlies, and dailies. That's where I'm getting my edge from. I'm not getting my edge from a 1 minute chart. Right, we are below. Even if we come to this, look, bearish to neutral on everything other than the daily. Why? Because we haven't made a lower high, lower low on the daily. We're protecting the 21 on the daily. We've traded under it, and we're trying to reclaim it at the moment. And we're well above the 200. Yes, correct. Thank you, DK. Sorry, I missed if someone asked. No, definitely. I'm not worried about liquidity and volume today. Trust me. After Friday, there's plenty of players in this market right now. Plenty of players in the market. How's my long-term portfolio doing this morning? Let's have a look. So I'm still up 38.19% on AMD, which is good. Amazon about 1% up. PayPal about 1% up. Oscar Health about 2.5% up. That's poor. Apple 17% up. So I'm still holding on to those because I'm in from very, very good positions. Not going to panic out like everyone. And I'm not leveraged. I'm not over leveraged. I'm playing with my own cash. Right, here comes the New York Open. Right, so if we reclaim New York Open and reclaim opening range, there is a chance we squeeze back up towards here. Right, if we reclaim this and reclaim this, there's a chance we squeeze back up towards here. This is the rotation. We've gone over it all day, but in case you do not understand, these are your rotations in here. Right, so I got short here to here. I did not get long here. I'm waiting to see how we develop. I did trade overnight, by the way. I should say that. Only in an eval account. All right, I was not willing. I didn't think I would sleep if I traded my own money overnight. I did get long from the 700s into the 900s in a big eval account. It is a good time if you're interested. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, but if you're interested in playing, you know, $250K, $300,000 type size accounts, this is a good time to do it because your ATR is big. So the swings are bigger, so you can lock in more money. I didn't. I missed the flash crash, actually, JD. Unfortunately, I didn't have any orders out. Wasn't expecting it, so didn't have orders out. Okay, here comes your trade through New York, through the opening range. Now, if they bid off opening range, it's possible we go back towards these Globex highs. We have the 20-day still at sort of 870. That's where we've failed so far. This is the mean reversion level, 20-day. If we get through that, we have a 5-day all the way up. Just shy of 25,000, right? Just shy of 25,000. Nothing more than range rotation. Look left. Look at how we're moving under and over the flow zones. Over flow zones, over lower time frame algo, under lower time frame algo, into lower time frame algo, under lower time frame algo, over lower time frame algo, gut check it, under lower time frame algo, gut check it, over lower time frame algo. Can we build this, or are we going to do one of these? Right, under over, under over, under over. Here's your edge. All right, don't expect too much. I'm not expecting much today. I'm expecting today to track participants, tomorrow to have some form of failed break and maybe a reversal, and then Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some follow through, and then we see where we're at. We'll reassess sort of Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning, I think. All right, holding the opening range here so far. This is the 20-day moving average that we're about to tag back into, which is where we failed this morning. We trade through this, maybe we get back up towards Globex. Whitewater boat ride, hang on, yeah. Yes, very much how it is. Let me try and close this down a bit. Had a really good afternoon session on in Discord though. Really, really good afternoon session on Friday. I'm just waiting for TPT to sort me my. Let's see if they've done it yet. I haven't had an email. I finished a new account last week and they still haven't given me the credits. You know, when you go to Go Pro. Oh, there we do. They've done it now. They've realized. That's good. Always annoying that. There we go. It's another TPT done. Really need to get back on and do some more funding ticks, which I didn't do last week. I said I was going to do it and I haven't. Okay, still above that opening range. Still trading upside at the moment, looking for that squeeze. I'm not in this, but the market is trading upside off demand. We're right back in the middle. Remember, we failed overnight. This is the 61 fib and supply. All right, so this is your 61% fib. All right, this pullback off this low is 61%. This is your liquidity building phase. If we fail below this and get stuck, I expect us to come back down into this gap and close it. If we print above this, maybe we retest previous week value and maybe we fail there. If we reclaim value, that's when, if I was a seller from Friday, I'd start being worried. Not until then. I blew today one of my accounts. Bloody 1 minute candle without a stop on MNQ. Hopefully won't do it again. Yeah, you got to use stops, man. You have to use stops. Imagine you were buying Friday and you didn't have a stop. I think we moved like 400 points in a couple minutes. Yeah, silver having a big drive. Okay, so failing up there, coming back towards that New York Open and VWAP again here. Do they bid off this, or is this another rotation back towards those lows? I'm not overly bullish in this market, but wouldn't mind seeing a drive higher to come and retest that London high. And then if we fail up there or above there into 25,000, we can think about the short. Because remember, we're very, very thin. All right. Above 24,900, we are seriously thin on Friday's volume. But we have, right, we have Monday last week, or is that the old weekly levels? Let me check this. Yes. I would say 25,040 is huge because you have an old previous week value area low and the week before that, the previous week value area high, and you have volume built from 25,080, I would say, down to 25,000. That is the area for me. If we can drive into that and we fail, I'm interested in the short. If we drive into that and we squeeze through it and reclaim it and start bidding off that, then I think there's a potential to go back to all-time highs. I'd way prefer we fill the gap beneath us first before doing that, but we will see. So market stuck here. VIX still inside its overnight range. All right, we're just trading at 1981. We're not trading at 15s or 14s on 13s. We're not looking at like a really slow, grindy, bullish market here. This is frothy. We're at 20s basically, folks. 195 people watching, only 51 likes. Oh my gosh. Come on, folks. 54 likes now. Let's get those likes up. We can do some giveaways. I'm going to have to get in touch with Bella for some more giveaways. Bella, if you're here, I need some more. I need some more giveaways, right? So this morning took a short here back down to wash these levels. So it was TP1, TP2, and out, and now just waiting. Maybe we go for this drive. I didn't want to play the range rotation off the low, even though it's working very, very nicely. I'm just going to wait and let this build out, because this, if you're just joining, this is our liquidity building phase of the market, and it might last all day. It might last tomorrow as well. We're an inside. One thing we should say is we're quite obviously an inside bar, so we expect range rotation, and the range is massive. All right, even now that we've slowed down, it feels like, oh my gosh, we're going so slow. You're 26 points per M1 ATR. Last week you were averaging like six points per 1 minute ATR. You're 26 now. A swipe in this market can easily be 100 points. Remember, even in a bearish market, ES is really getting going here. So ES is coming back up towards try and testing that supply zone. Even in bearish markets, the bullish rallies can be very, very, very big. And we're not in a bearish market yet. We're not in a bearish market yet. We're not confirmed on the daily. Am I expecting it? I don't expect anything right now, Jacob. Would it be nice? Yes. The problem with that new week opening gap is it is beyond 2 standard deviations lower than the Bollinger. So I don't think we fill that gap if we're going to be bullish in this market. Only if we put in a lower high and we start breaking down. Otherwise, it'd be odd to leave it open, but kind of is possible at the moment. Possible at the moment. So not taking out that 90 pivot here. Let's me have a look at this much above. Is there anyone up? So you can see on bookmap, see how thick we get above 25,000 from previous sessions. Very thin. 4950, there's nothing. And then we get to 25k and we thicken up. I really want to see a gut check back up there. How many of you read the weekly newsletter? How much of this has made sense because you read the new weekly newsletter and you're starting to understand how the market likes to rotate between ranges? So if you're long off that orb, it looks good at the moment. I'm not long off it, off that retest, but it does look good. You're starting to build out this liquidity now. And your target will be here, which you're in TP1, and that will be TP2. And beyond that, you're looking all the way up here. All right, so if you get acceptance above that, maybe you get lucky and you get squeezed out to there if you're long. But be very cautious. Do not get long in here. All right, definitely don't get long in here. Same way you don't get short here, you don't get long here. This might look like nothing, but this is basically 200 points already. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Nice, yeah, lots of you reading it. It's amazing. Even seasoned traders, I'm amazed when they get drawn into, you know, social media or headlines on CNBC or stuff like that. It's amazing. Right, there's the 900 check. Which code on Malabi? I don't know which code you're talking about here. Bye, darling. Have a good day. Okay. Did you walk her? Okay, thank you. Next potential trade I'm waiting to see if we have failure up here or a reclaim up here. So do we make a lower high up here? Or do we come and sweep out Globex? Do we take out both sides of Globex right now? To the top of golden pocket here. If we build liquidity here, I think we go for a squeeze through Globex. But really, we should be playing edge to edge in this market. You should be buying here and fading the highs technically. It's very hard to do when the range is so big. You can see we're rejecting that supply to start. Pulling back off that 900. Can still hold the opening range, remember. So it's very, very tricky, this market right now. ES is doing exactly the same thing. I'm not, like I keep saying, I'm not overly bullish in this market. Not until we reclaim the levels. I've talked about it in the newsletter. I've talked about it all morning. Unless we bottom out, all right, which means gut checking where we failed from Friday, unless we bottom out and reclaim 25,000 with power, and really I'd almost say 25,100, then I'm not overly bullish. This for me is a big retracement and it can be faded. Remember, there's lots and lots of buyers on the weeklies trapped overhead, right? You have from Thursday the 2nd, so 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. You have a week's worth of buyers trapped overhead. That's a week's worth of volume. You have a week's worth of volume trapped overhead above 25,000. So all the time we are under previous week value area low. I would be very hesitant about trying to get long. Well, long the rotations, sure, but do not try and get long into those levels. Just doing that dance at the moment. Let me have a quick look. See what this market's doing. Tesla not making a new high this morning, stuck inside of pre-market range. Nvidia still inside pre-market's range, but it's trying to get through it into its thin liquidity above. Microsoft failing, coming towards its low of day inside pre-market range, possibly going for gap fill. Meta stuck inside of pre-market's range. It did dip this morning and it's found a bid, but it's still stuck. 5-day moving average, trapped supply overhead. Google, actually one of the stronger ones today, all right? Like we've said, that's been very, very weak for most sessions we've come to the market. So it's starting to find a bit of a bid up. So Google not continuing to sell, right? Starting to reclaim some levels. Amazon inside of its pre-market range. Apple near its lows, inside of pre-market range, very close to a gap fill there. So I'm not looking at the mag thinking, oh, this is mega bullish. We're going on a mega squeeze here. That's not how I'm viewing this market right now. Oracle looks strong. That's one that does look strong, breaking out of previous day high. That's a very strong move. AMD inside pre-market range again. It's not making me think that, hey, we're off to the races in this market. It's not how I'm viewing this market. I'm not seeing it as any more than a liquidity building phase of the market right now. Nothing more than that. We're coming back up towards Globex. So we're holding flow zones, starting to develop the start of a trend. But this is a big level here, as is this up here. Look at this liquidity above. Have they got much? Some at 25k. Is there any above that? No. Tapping into supply, failing so far. Liquidity left here overnight. Might as well just call it 950s. Liquidity left at 950s overnight. Pre-market highs, basically QQQ. Same on spiders right now. You sent me an email, Malabi. Let me check. Oh, gosh, that's not good. All right, let me send you another one. See if this one works. If not, I will get in touch with them. Maybe they cancelled those codes, which would not be good. I just emailed you, buddy. Okay, still stuck at supply up here. Back towards these flow zones. Market slowing down a little bit here, coming into that rotational level. I wouldn't mind a fail break here or some kind of rollover. We need to be careful of how we're building liquidity. We look left. All right, this is a sweep, so this is a breakdown. Double bottom, push up. Here's a sweep, here's a reclaim. If we hold this, there's probably moves up into this, and if we squeeze through that up into here, anywhere between here and here, I would not be surprised to see a failed breakout. If we reclaim it, then, or if I wouldn't want to be short from Friday, let's say that much. If we start reclaiming previous week value. So if you're a range rotation player, I'd be waiting to see at the moment if you get some kind of shift here or some kind of shove up where you see big sellers. You can see sellers at the moment are waiting just under 950. There is a player up at 25k. He's not sized. There's only a 70 lot. And above that, there's nothing. But above that, you can see on the session volume profile, we get thick above 25,000. Much thicker in orders above 25,000 from Friday. Okay. I will need to get in touch with Bella Omalabi. Give me 24 hours. I'll reach out to her after this and we'll get some new codes and I'll sort you out, mate. Sorry to hear that. That's they're not supposed to end until the end of the month, but don't worry, we'll get you sorted. Do not worry. Do not worry. All right, here's the 900 check. If you're trading through this, if you're long from the opening range, if you're long from this flag here, all right, you should be TP1, TP2 900, TP3 here, and if you get lucky, you get a back test of sort of 50s, 25 50s if you're lucky. Do not be getting long up here. You're asking for pain if you're going to get long into supply up here. You're absolutely asking for it. VIX starting to find a bit of a bid at its pre-market lows here, folks. And it's reclaimed 1980 and it's going to come back for 20s. If VIX starts trading through 20s and 20.80, it would go for gap fill to 21s. And this market will be in trouble. All the time VIX keeps building out bearish liquidity for a new leg down, market can keep squeezing up. Like I said, I'm just expecting rotation today. I'm not expecting more than that. Not expecting more than that. Runner only, Peter. Yeah, nice. If you get that expansion to 940 and then 25,050, it would be amazing for you. Yes, getting stuck up here. So SPY got above its pre-market high and failed so far, pulling back. QQQ did not get above that level and is still stuck. I'm going to see kind of a swipe higher and then it get absolutely obliterated if I'm going to think about short. I'm not going to guess the tops up here. I'm not playing, don't want to play any range rotation unless I see failure. I'm not interested in getting caught the wrong side of this. I want to play once there is control coming to market. So far, buyers have been in control off these lows down here, which we're in, and now we're back at supply. All right, this is a rotational range, 700 to 25k. Just got to wait. 2-day POC, is it? Interesting. I really want to see a back test of like 25,000 and 25 to 25,070, somewhere in there. The old weekly value area low and the week before that value area high, where we get very, very thick. That's what I want to see. Okay, failing up here again. So the range rotation starting to rear itself like we talked about. Is why I would not be getting long into supply. I've talked about it all morning. You're asking for trouble. Big sellers just come on the book. Look at that, 877 lot at 912. Big, big, big seller has just come on the book and said, hey, I want to wall it. Let's see if he's legit. Let's see if they squeeze up into him and if he stays around. Last night, these all got filled. These players were not a joke last night. They were all getting filled. So let's see. That's some serious size. Just shy of 900 lot on the book. That is some serious size. So they're trying to get up to fill him. They're trying to see if they can fill this participant. If he lifts the offer, we'll go squeeze very, very quick, I would imagine, if he lifts that offer. VIX starting to find a bid like we talked about. Trying to get back up to the 20s on the VIX. Another huge lot's just come on there. So double stacked now. You got 1,600 lots between 912 and 925 there. Woof, that is some size, my friends. That's some serious size. Now, is that a buyer looking to get filled, or is that a short seller saying, hey, no more? Hopefully we'll find out in a minute what the plan is. They're trying to get up into him. That is some serious size. So once we failed, they came back on the tape. What did they fill here? 153 lot, 87 lot. The sellers making it clear that they're trying to defend that level right now. They're trying to defend current high of New York session. No doubt about it. Just right in the start of that supply block I had marked out at that 900. So let's see, folks. Let's see. There we go. So the rotation starting here. That wick low there, 64s. So buyer just stepped on the bid, trying to walk it back up. You can see him literally on the bid here. He's trying to walk it back up to fill these players right now. Honestly, above 900, we're pretty thin. So are they going to fill these players? Here's the drive up into them. Not there yet. They're at 910 and 920 at the moment. 910 just moved, so they just lifted the offer. This is what I said. This is what I'd be worried about seeing. 920 lifted the offer. So fake players there. They've just moved away and said, hey, we're not playing this level. So some spoofing with some serious flipping size going on. Spoofing with 1700 lots is not a joke. So we should trade through that now. There's no reason for it to sort of hesitate here. It should really trade through and get to Globex. I'm not saying I'm taking that, but that's what you'd expect now because they've just pulled their orders. Now I've come back on the book. Wow. Someone's having fun. All right, a 1,212 lot now on the book at 9.15. Right in that supply zone. How much money is that? 1,212 lots. Oh my days. Oh my days. I can't even do the maths on that. Multiple millions. And is that enough to go in rotation back to gut check the orb and this level here? So we've got New York open, New York view up down here. If we start failing up here, if we start topping up here and come down to here, that's a trade technically. And if we fail under here back towards the low, also very, very possible. Technically, we're still bullish in this session. Left liquidity at the highs. Don't like that we have a lack of excess. I'm going to be honest. I do not like that we've got a lack of excess up there if I was going to think about the short. Let's put some volume on here now that we've been here for a little bit. Okay. Over 24,000 per point. Oh my gosh. Could it be consolidation for a move up? I mean, it could absolutely, but I would not be buying the top part of this range in a market which sold over 1,000 points on Friday and has already repriced to 61. For me, this is not a good buying location. Momentum intraday might be good, but I think this is a terrible buying location. For how I trade, I would not be buying this location. I'd almost rather it bases out here, breaks out, pulls back and holds a new pullback. This for me is a clear level of potential supply. We're just on the 20-day. We've completed the 61 fib. We've made supply in London. We're failing that supply. We've created lots of liquidity here now as well, where probably lots of buyers have also come in. If we start seeing a breakdown under here, we're going to come straight back down to here. I do not buy near red and I do not sell near blue. It's very, very simple. I don't want to be a stuck participant. I want to use other people's pain. If we flip these, I can think about it. Okay, so he's pulled his offer as well, and here comes the sell. So starting to see that rotation back down, probably towards the New York view up. So in this short for this breakdown now, just scalping my way down. And if we reclaim 75s, I'll take it off, which is basically the edge of the range we just created. Really nice. Can we get back down to the opening range? Waiting for that shift to come in. Can we see deeper? Some buyers here at 850s, almost at that opening range. I'll take a little piece off here in front of it. Don't want to be a dick over a small amount. And if we start getting underneath the New York open, we can think about adding in size. Really nice here. Lovely jubbly. This is why we wait for turns and we join on breaks. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Opening range almost tapped there, just shy. Pulling some more off. Opening range is right here, this white line. So we're just shy of it. And if we fail, all right, if they find a bid here, then they can maybe build liquidity for this move. If they fail, if this is a topping formation and we get stuck here, then I expect to revisit this. And this will continue to build liquidity. I know I'm drilling it into you today. You're probably like, this guy's on one. We are in a liquidity building phase of the market. We are in C money, take money on rotations. Bang, here we go. So into lower time frame algo and view up into that New York opening print. If we get heavy under here, we can start adding for that rotation towards the low of session. But I'm covering most of mine here and waiting. Hopefully this makes sense to you. I don't guess the top. I wait for the break and add for that momentum down. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Bella, thank you. Hope you're good. Bella, I need some more codes, please. Some of the codes I sent to some of the winners last week have stopped working. I can drop you an email though. Lovely, yeah. Lots of you should have made some good money here. Nice flush down to view up and New York opening print. Thanks, Bella. You're the best. Thanks for that post at the weekend as well. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. All right, back inside this opening range. More pain is available here if they start breaking down underneath VWAPs. Still in this with some runners. Let's fucking go. And this is why you don't buy in supply. I don't know how many times I could have said that to you. Retesting current value area low. Oh my gosh. Are we in a range rotation? Are we building liquidity? I think we are. I think we are. Come on. How many of your furus told you we're going long to all-time highs today? Volume is king, folks. Trap participants is king. I couldn't give a monkey's what social media and news outlets say. We trade what is in front of us. All right, we trade what's in front of us. We are in range rotation. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, make sure you're paying yourself here. If we're going to get any further rotation, we're going to need VWAPs, New York Open, and Orb to stay heavy. If they start reclaiming those levels, you want to be out of your short positions. All right, do not let this squeeze like 70, 80 points back on you. All right, so you want to see this push up and fail. All right, if this does not push up and fail and start squeezing, you do not want to keep holding on to it. But I thought we would go back to all-time highs because some trader I watched told me. Shut up. Shut up. A fucking week's worth of volume trapped above us right now. Until we reclaim that, shut your gob. I even had to say the same to my dad this morning. Oh, I'm too scared to do anything because of Trump. Shut up. Play what's in front of you. Come on. Got to play what's in front of you. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, thank you, Bella. Okay, watching here. This push needs to fail. This push into sort of the opening range somewhere around here needs to fail. If this reclaims, I will be out on runners and just let it. Because if this is going to be a deep wash, like we just talked about, if they do a deep wash here and reclaim this, they're trying to try and go bullish to here. If we fail this level, this is a pullback to go lower. Right, but we just traded edge to edge. There's your edge. There's point of control. There's the trap volume. We traded down to this edge. Yes, it did. It scared everyone, didn't it? It absolutely did. All right, out of this now. Can always re-add in if it starts to prove itself. Can always re-add in if it starts to prove itself. Watching ES if it can trade back up to that New York VWAP and get stuck. ES is very, very dense and thick in this area. Very dense and thick. Is he still up there, that big order? Has he moved down or has he run away now? He just did enough to be like, you're not coming further, piss off. Looks like he just did enough to scare the market out. All right, rejecting opening range, back into this New York level. This is your over-under right now. Starting to potentially see a bear flag breakdown here. Adding back into this, see if we can get some follow through. I want to be very careful if they snap this back upside. Nice. Here's a retest towards 800s. They reclaim this, I'm out again. Not going to faff around in this area too much if we can't get follow through. Want to see a bear flag and a breakdown towards these lows. If they can't do it, I will respect it. So I do not want to get trapped here if their plan is for a deep wash to go back and create that inverted head and shoulder to use that liquidity from earlier today up here where we've got trap volume. But really, I'm looking for this breakdown back down towards here. Lovely, lovely. Can we get some follow through here? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We need a new low here for us, please. Pretty please. Stop defending the 800s. ES new low. NQ not following. Got to be careful that divergent. Spider holding lower time frame algo right now. QQQ also holding lower time frame algo. VIX starting to find a bid here through 2020s now. Come on, VIX. Give me one swipe up, VIX, one swipe down here on the market. Need to be careful. This is a very tricky area here. Do not want to get caught in this if they trap to go back upside into this pocket. So back to that New York, back to the New York VWAP, back to the New York Open. This is your over-under, basically that kind of level. If they fail to reclaim that, we should move back down towards that demand pocket. If they reclaim New York, we probably squeeze back up towards 5-day. Come on, baby. There's the 800s. Give us a break. Give us a break. You're coming. You're coming. Come on, VIX. Keep going. Come on, baby. Get under those 800s and sell it. Not much liquidity lower. Let me check this book over here. Got real thin under there. Come on, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it. No follow through. Lack of players, man. The market's gone to sleep with players. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. ES looks like it wants to break down here. ES might need one more push up before it does it, though. It's the only thing right now. VIX looking good. We're at these 800s, big levels. This was big level last night as well. Anyone in Discord knows this was a huge level we were trading at last night in the open. Those 800s. Lots of liquidity has been built out here overnight, so don't want to be too biased in this level. What are you? And this is the anchored view up off the high. That red line is your anchored view up off the high on Friday where we broke down. All right, so that's average price of shorts. So don't want to get stuck here. Back to New York again. ES traded right towards its low of New York session there. Missed it by, what, 4 or 5 points, which might seem like a lot, but given the range, it's not that much. All right, if we reclaim New York, I'm out. If we drive through and bid over, I'm out. We'll not hold on to this through that. If we build out more liquidity, I'm happy to take it off and always add back in if it proves itself. I've already done that once, scalped out a bit more, but if we reclaim here, I'm out. Back to the VWAP we go. Because we're kind of trading midpoint at the moment, so I want to be careful. If we think about the current range on the day, I want to be careful. I know I've activated a trade here, but I want to be careful. We're trading midpoint. I want to be very, very careful in here. Teeny size. We reclaim. If we bid above this, I'm gone. I'm not going to hold on to it. Because they can go right up to back test this area here. Remember, this is where volume's now trapped, and we just shifted POC. All right, so POC just shifted from up here. This was fair value. Now this is considered fair value. So this is the new range on the day for now. This is your chop zone. All right. This right here has now become your chop zone. Basically 22s to 76. You've got a new 50-point range of chop for them to build out new liquidity before they decide what's what. Here we go. Come on, baby. Come on, 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 come on. Come on, chameleon. Come on. Break the 800s. If they defend this, it's going to be a problem. Buyers really trying to defend this. If we get a breakdown here, we should move straight back down towards low of day in that pocket. Here we come. Come on, baby. Stop bidding off the 90s. Give me that flush. Initial balance now set. Yes, initial balance now set as well, folks. So you've got to be aware of that. We're trading midpoint on the initial balance being set. Not ideal. ES trading towards its IB low right now. No follow through here. Have to respect what we're seeing so far. No follow through here. They are defending it so far. I would love to see more follow through for downside. I'd love an NQ to catch up, but it's not willing to yet. It might come. Still trapped under those VWAPs. Those VWAPs are sideways, though. They're not sloping down yet. We're still trapped underneath the New York Open. We are finding bids here, though. It's a battleground. Absolute battleground here. VIX still looking good. 20.31 now. Big level for the VIX here. Back to that New York Open. I'll give you a readout on the mag as well. Tesla 2.84% up, Microsoft 0.75% up, Meta 1.40% up, Google 1.68% up, Amazon 1.68% up, Apple 0.5% up. They're pretty much all, I think, trading inside of pre-market range. Tesla inside of pre-market range, Nvidia inside of pre-market range, Microsoft outside of pre-market range to the downside, Meta inside of pre-market range, Google inside of pre-market range, Amazon it broke down outside of pre-market range and has traded back inside it, and Apple outside of pre-market range trading back down towards trying to fill its gap. Possibly we'll find a bid down here soon. So yes, most of us are inside of pre-market range in the mag right now. So a lack of edge, a lack of follow through in the mag to the downside, just in that chop zone we remain. And reclaim, so out here. If we come back up to revisit here and fail at 870s, might perk my interest. But if we reclaim this, then this will be the trap, right? If they reclaim this and build liquidity here, they'll go for Globex. All the time they reject this, they can build out this. This is your chop zone now, is in here, like we just talked about. It's where they're going to build more liquidity out now. A lack of downside follow through. There's lots of spoofing going on. You can even see here on the book, someone came in there and lifted. Any big players, they all left. All the players have left again. Very odd. Odd that they came in with size, left, came back within size, traded away from it, and not come back in at all, just hiding. So coming to retest this area that we just broke down from. If we reclaim that, we're probably going to go and take out Globex, I would say, if we reclaim that. If we can't reclaim it, then there's more downside potential. VIX getting slapped there, back to the 20s now on the VIX. It was looking good, couldn't make a new high through 2050, back to 20s. Pretty ugly book. When you look at the book and it looks like this, it's pretty ugly. Look at that. No direction. Just both sides non-stop. That's how you know we're in a rotation. No sides, just non-stop. Bid ask, bid ask, big ask, big ask. Yeah, Mo, it's illegal. Good luck proving it. How are you ever going to prove it? They just say, oh yeah, well I wanted that price, but then I changed my mind. And that's the problem. It's not just illegal on CME; it's illegal on all assets. But you'll just never prove it. You'll never prove. Oh, I changed my mind. It moved too aggressively. I didn't want to get filled there, and that's the problem. All right, so ES coming back towards its supply. We're trying to do the same on NQ, and if we build a right shoulder here, we will probably go and take out Globex at this point. If they build a right shoulder here, they'll probably go and take out Globex. So while we don't hold on to those losers, if we get through here. So if we spend too much time up here, point control might well flip back up here. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. So far rejecting up here, not reclaiming it. But rotation off that midpoint. So ES has failed to take out, let me just check. Yeah, failed to take out Globex high, failed to take out any form of low, just trapped in liquidity building. We've been somewhat efficient this morning as a market. Not really too many low volume nodes, just sellers taking control up here, buyers taking control down here, not much else really going on. Range isn't bad, it's 189 points. It might not feel like it, but your initial balance is actually 189 points. It's fairly decent. Let's see. Yes, into a bit of higher volume here. Has reclaimed some low vol. Enki doesn't look very good in terms of how we've built out. It looks very efficient. What is that? If we reclaim here, we'll probably go Globex. If they reclaim it, they'll probably go Globex. Just from 9:30 open, no further anchor. You need the volume every single candle through the day, Tyson. So from the 9:30 open, everything's in that video, mate. Everything I do is in that free video. So stuck inside of those, didn't quite make it up to that vol up here. Came close, shy of it. Oh, come on, market. Don't go to sleep now in the middle of the IB, please. It would not surprise me if it does completely go to sleep the rest of the day, because we're just trading in between these. These are the areas that were given to you pre-market and nothing's changed. We have not got outside of these areas, have we? Not been able to do it. No, Tyre, because this is what makes me laugh. How useful would my entries and my size be to you if you don't know what my risk parameter is, what my size of my account is, what my target is? It's so odd to me that people require what other people do when your personal requirements might be completely different to me. I will show when I'm in a trade in Discord, I show what I'm looking at. I often post my sizing in there, but it should not make an impact to you. How useful is it going to be if a billionaire trader says, "Oh, I'm 500 lots long from here"? What use is that to you if that completely different sizing to your account? His risk parameters, his tolerance is different to you. You need to you guys should be learning from me and not using me as a signal bot. You should be learning what the areas and locations, what is your edge, what sizing are you willing to use, what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with a $5,000 loss, or is $50 loss a lot for you? That is personal. That's why you cannot ever compare yourself to anyone else or trade like anyone else. Define your edge, use your edge. If you're trying to come and signal bot off me or anyone else, you're destined for failure. I can tell you that. You're destined for failure, because it means you never have an edge in a market. That's not like trying to dig you out a tool, buddy, but so many people come and do that. So many people. It's amazing to me. Why does it matter what anyone else is doing if it's not comfortable for you, if you don't have defined edge? Okay, so we're getting stuck up here. Like I said, this is range up here. If they can't reclaim this, they'll rotate back to here. This is where buyers just stepped in this morning, right? Buyers stepped in here. This is your chop range. We went over this 50-point chop range. Really important you all define your own edge. What is your system? What is your trade? What are you comfortable winning or losing? Because you should only be trading what you're comfortable with, right? It's no different to going to a casino. I'm going to a casino, I'm willing to lose this much money, and at that point I'm walking away. It's exactly the same as trading. Right, there's the failure off supply. Back down to where we just found buyers, right? So here is the rotation like we just talked about, here to here. If you get failure, if they build out liquidity here and fail, we will revisit this. If they hold this, They will revisit this. This is your chop range. We just went over that. Learn to identify it. Book looks somewhat thin to me, how they're operating currently with the passive orders on the book. What's ES looking like? Lots of targets above on ES that they wanted to fill by the looks of it. 90, 95, 700, 705, 710 all wanted to get filled and didn't at the moment. Back to VWAP and New York Open we go. It's the same range where we stopped out of that attempt to move lower on runner. We're back to back test it. All right, so anyone who didn't stop out there, they should be stopping out now, which is why we're stuck in this smaller range. And this is probably midpoint in the session. So what I'd say here is you've got New York VWAP, lower time frame algo, anchor VWAP off the high, POC, New York Open, flow zones, all in here, right? All in here. This is probably like your don't trade zone here. That's your don't trade zone. And that's also 50% probably between this and this. I'd imagine this is around 50, maybe a bit lower. This is 50%. All right, so lack of edge in here today. Unfortunately, we were short in here and we were short here. I'm covering this. And I'm not getting long on that bid back up, and I'm not short here either. I'm going to wait. If we build liquidity out here and start to trap these buyers for this move down, I'm interested. I'm covering here. If we get under here, we're going for potential gap. If we get above here and bid above here, we're going up to this level. It's just level to level. You see money, take money, level to level. But the moves are big. They're level to level is offering you 50 to 100 points easily. Easily. Like, there you go, 50 points off that failure. Okay, VWAP and New York Open here. Do they defend this, or do we start getting heavy and going for that rotation back down? ES is still holding its VWAP. Lots, like I said, lots of volume was built at, in and around 800. We talked about it yesterday in Discord. Once we got back through value area low, most of the volume you can see here is built around 800. There's your over, under, back to, over, under, check, over, back to, over, under, back to, over, back to, check. Very obvious level here, right? That's your sentiment shift. This, for me, why I'm not super bullish, if they give any failure up here, I think we revisit somewhere in here. And if bulls hold that, then I'm long. Nvidia, yeah, Nvidia back to lows. Still inside pre-market range right now, though. It's not even into its gap yet. If it starts failing back down underneath that pre-market low, 86.79, you might get lucky and go for a gap fill. So I'd watch 84s and then lower on that. So here we go back to that New York Open. If we sell here, then we can think about the liquidity build here to move lower. But remember, value on the day in the New York session is right here. We have not had acceptance under here today, under 95s, effectively 800s. No one wants to participate in this area at the moment. I'm telling you, sellers will want to sell at 25,000, not 200 points lower, ideally. And buyers, smart buyers, will want to buy in that gap and then over 25,000, not here, ideally. This is the range building. Smart money wants to sell higher and buy lower. Simple as that. They don't want to buy inside of London and Asia. Waiting for some edge here. I don't think we get much edge in this market till Wednesday, personally. I think we consolidate for a little while until Wednesday. Maybe I'll get proven wrong, but at the moment, that's what I think. I'm going to get a refill of coffee. Hopefully it doesn't break down without me. All right, nothing changed here. Under that VWAP, I'd love to see this break down towards those lows and see how we act. I want to be participating right in here. NVIDIA right towards that pre-market low, still holding on. Go on, NQ. I dare you. I double dare you to let go of 800s and go down to 7s. 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800. Through the 800s. Is there follow through? It have to be follow through under 88. And so far today, they're absorbing this kind of level. Here we go. Right, so now will they rotate low of day? ES, same kind of level, or do they trap here with a double bottom? It's the same level. Is current value on the day. If we get through value on the day, we can check current low of day, the initial balance low, and if we get through that previous day value area low. If we just trap here and sweep and go back up, I'd be somewhat concerned for this market to just continue to chop. CVD's down here. I have it in the bottom right. I don't pay too much attention to it though, buddy. I'm more interested in delta per candle. Yeah, so like here we have lots of strong selling coming in. If they fail to get follow through and we turn upside, then I know these sellers here are going to get trapped. So I'm more interested in delta per candle. You can see here at the bottom we had the biggest sell volume of the day, and delta was at these lows. We failed to break down, so those sellers here this morning into 935 get trapped and we run up away from them. The biggest buying delta of the day was right at 10 o'clock, right up here. We failed to break above him. We come down into range. So I prefer using delta that way, but each to their own. Like, you can find edge in it. What I would say is make sure your cumulative volume delta is set for the New York session. If you just have it running 24 hours, it won't give you any edge. Have it set, or for the session that you trade in, maybe I should say. Better way of saying it. Is my supply and demand indicator your person? This is not an indicator, bud. These are levels I draw on each day. It's not an indicator. This is just how I draw them on. All right, here's the gut check underneath that little level we just talked about, 87. Do they stay heavy under here for a rotation towards the lows or not? They're trying to stay heavy under here for a rotation towards the lows at the moment. This is where we bid off this morning. This is value on the session. Can we get acceptance under value? I'd be very conscious that all the sellers got trapped in here earlier. This is Globex low again. For me, we're nothing more than, I'm going to keep saying this, we are nothing more than a range rotating market today until it proves otherwise. Okay, see money, take money, play the edges if you really, really want to. But for me, bears have an edge in this market. All the time we're below 25,000, bears have an edge overall. And the battleground is 700 to 25k. VIX trying to build liquidity here to move higher. Nvidia right into that pre-market low. So possibly trades into the gap here on Nvidia. But yeah, these are really easy to draw, folks. Just look at where we fail and why we fail. And you can keep zooming left and you keep adjusting. So we failed here before. So this was the start of supply. We get thin up here. There's Globex. Boom. We fail in here. We retest it. We stay heavy. We retest it. Guess what? We stay heavy. Down here. There's an RBS, isn't it? All right. This was support. This is a big level here. This was support. Became resistance. Became resistance. Traded through it. Became resistance. Traded through it. Became support. We expect this to hold. Right? If we get under this and reject it, this will go red and we will trade lower. It's the only way the market operates, guys, is trap participants, and they mainly get trapped in these levels. Between these levels is where it's much harder to trade. Much, much harder to trade. Reattempt at a breakdown here. This is just delta. It's just trading view delta, folks. Volume delta. That's all it's called. You will only be able to have it if you pay for, I would imagine you've got to pay for premium and probably something else. I don't know. I'm just guessing. It's a newer kind of indicator they've put on more recently. Okay, are we going to revisit these lows then for this breakdown? So edge to edge, very, very possible here if we can break down. ES coming back towards its current low of 1030, trying to get back down towards its initial balance low right now. So failing to make a new high. ES well and truly stuck inside of initial balance range. We are well and truly stuck inside of initial balance range. Let's just go over this so you guys can understand. Daily chart, all right? What we're in a daily chart, we're in an inside bar, all right? Huge inside bar, but nonetheless, we're in an inside bar, right? Which means on the weekly chart and the monthly chart, we're also on an inside bar. We go to an hourly chart. We're trading inside. This is still bearish. There's the hourly move. There's the 61. This is still bearish, but we expect liquidity to be built in this stage if we're going to get a breakdown. All right, so, oh, can we go away, please? And then if we go look at what we've done overnight, so we're inside weekly, we're inside monthly, we're inside weekly, we're in building liquidity, we're inside Globex, we're inside initial balance, we're now back inside opening range. That is screaming to you. Do not oversize. Do not expect too much. There we go. Edge to edge. supply, back to demand, back to where we found bids from this morning. If we break down under here, we're going to go previous day value, area low. They can bid off this. They can sweep and bid back off this, back to the midpoint. Somewhat extended in this move down here. Nvidia back into its gap. Like I said, most of the mag were trading in their pre-market sessions. Let me just check again. Tesla inside of pre-market near initial balance low. Nvidia outside of pre-market to the lows in its gap. Microsoft potentially trying to trade a gap fill. All right, it's back to its pre-market low here. Meta low of session inside current session towards its IBL. Google looks a bit better than the others, but still currently inside pre-market. Amazon inside of pre-market. Apple slightly outside of pre-market, trying to do a gap fill. All right, so that is screaming to you. There's your edge or lack of. We're inside absolutely everything. Remember, if you're a stock trader, what's the easiest trade that you take, right? It is to wait for a pre-market low or pre-market high break and then see if there is follow through beyond that. So right now, basically 5 or 6 of the Mag 7 have not fulfilled that obligation. They're just going sideways. How do you set it to the session? Set what, mate? Sorry, Jacko. I might have missed or forgotten what the original question is there. What am I setting to? Oh, CVD. On the bookmap, you'll need to go to the options tab. I haven't done this for a while. Where are you? Figure options. Studies. It would be in here. In studies, CVD, and you'll need to set that to your session range, and you'll need to give it the time to start at. So if you go to, studies, cumulative CVD, and then session range, and then give it the time to start at. And then make sure it's set for that every day. Taco news. I don't think you're going to get much taco news. Is he in Egypt today? I think he's in Egypt today, right? Or is he talking now? Okay, that's why you're saying it. I'll give you some readout on what he's saying. I'm having a working lunch with Ukraine Zelensky on Friday. US is with Egypt all the way. Egypt played a very important role in the deal. Iran will come along. Iran needs help. I would love to take off Iran sanctions if they will talk to us. I think Iran will be fine. All right. So positive news coming out of the Middle East this morning so far. I think they released a lot of hostages already, what I understand. All right, at least half of you not smash that like button. Let's smash that like button, folks. And we can do some giveaways. I don't think Bella has emailed me yet, but let me double check. Maybe she has. If not, we can give away some. We can give away some education stuff. Remember, you've got until the end of the week, I believe, maybe not even that long for Apex. The 80% sale is still on with the $85 for the activation fee. And after that, there will be no sale for a little while, from what I understand. Okay, so protecting those lows. Back into current session. Volume here protected. We found a bid off this volume node. Probably trades back in towards 800. If they fail 800, they revisit back down here. All right, and then they make a choice if they break lower for this or not. If they revisit 800, reclaim 800 in here, then we go back into this choppy range, which is where we were at last night, failing above, failing below, midpoint of range. All right, see money, take money, see money, take money, see money, take money, see money, take money, inside of range, all right? Know the difference between trending days and not. Nice, Eric. Good job, Eric. Well done, buddy. Well done. So probably back to these nodes up here. I'd say this kind of level here is your sort of over under now. So that would be the chop. If they come back into this and reject it, we'll probably retest the low. They might not even get that far, but if they get that far, if they reclaim it, we're going to squeeze. All right, so bearish overall until let me reframe this. Until this market reclaims 25,000 and above, I'm bearish. My edge is bearish moves. Back down to retest towards Friday's low. If we hold Friday's low and we bid off Friday's low and we reclaim 25,000, I'm bullish for new all-time highs. Until that point, I'm bearish overall, expecting range rotation. Yes, I have, Raf. I've been short a few times today. Yes. And I was long overnight. All right, I was long overnight from 24/7s to 24/9s. And then I've been looking for that short this morning, and now I know we're in range, so I'm in sort of scalp mode until it proves otherwise. VIX back to 20.40. If VIX starts breaking out of 20.50, and definitely if it starts breaking out of 20.80 and goes for that gap fill, this market will get heavy. If it does that gap fill, we will try and do the same thing. And that gap is about 500-600 points lower, all right? The gap fill is down here right now. So what's that? 350 points lower. And if it wants to get to the new week opening gap, it's got to trade all the way down here, which is basically 600 points lower. All right. So just understand what's available. If they get heavy in here, there is not a lot of liquidity in here, right? That becomes not that hard if they go into major panic. And what will that mean? How would we get there? Well, we'd have to have liquidity build out. Guess where that liquidity has been built out? All these people saying we're going back to all-time highs. They've just been built out in here. If we break under this and leave these buyers trapped, we will revisit this. All right? Understand the high time frame structure. It doesn't have to do that, but if we leave them trapped, that will be the second lot of buyers trapped. We trap them Friday. We trap the weekly buyers for that snap down. If they leave these participants trapped up here and start washing, it will be the same kind of situation. Squeeze this in a bit so you can see it. Oh! Opportunities will come this week, folks. I promise you. If you're willing to just be patient, some amazing opportunities will come this week. This is Gex level, is it? Yeah, that's not surprising given that this is what we bid off all night. And if you look at Friday, look at that 1 p.m. candle. It was the first candle which traded upside, and look at the high of that candle. This is it. And POC. It's just Delta, mate. It's just called Delta. You don't need it. Volume Delta. It's just the standard one that comes with TradingView. I would much rather have it on my NinjaTrader, but I haven't spent time. I just haven't had the time to upgrade NinjaTrader with all the volume add-ons and everything else I need. All right, ES into initial balance low here. Just tagged its IB low. We are not there yet on the Qs. We would need to get down all the way down here into 25. So we've got volume and value on the day shifting lower now. So we're expanding values range. This is remaining as potential area of supply up here as your over under. We haven't tested it. since we failed. Okay, so we bid up off it, we bid up off it, we traded sideways, we failed. We haven't back tested this yet. This is looking like it wants to do this. Ideally, it does this first, but who knows? If the market wants to go in a big old sell, then so be it. I have the one you use to have on the screen, but I don't understand it as much what you described the last few minutes. Oh, you have this one. Well, this one's the same one, the Sati volume. This just isn't volume, right? This is delta. Delta is basically it's buy minus sell or sell minus buy. So it's showing me what I'm interested in is when there's heavy participation in a singular level done by market orders more than passive orders. So for example, when we see big selling like this down here, a big sell volume, big delta sell, but we move away from it, that means there's someone who's not market buying, but they're limit buying down here, right? So they're just refreshing the bid down here. So there's a big institution just being like, yeah, just slowly buy 20, buy 20 more, buy 20 more on a limit, right? And market sellers are trying to force us down and they don't get it, and then we break away. That's how I know sellers get stuck down here. That's all I use it for, that kind of edge. Same kind of thing here for a bit where we did that dance. You see the biggest volume of the day, biggest delta of the day. We did a dance. We moved away from it. They get stopped out and then we let it go. Why did we move away from it? Because sellers tried to force this move, couldn't get it. We needed to back test where passive selling probably was. And then we move away. So same here. I expect us to come back towards here and make a decision in here now, right? Because this is where we failed from. So if we drive back into here, uno, dos, and then we fail, then maybe they can recheck this. If they can't, if they reclaim, then this is available. This is the dance, right? This is the dance. These are your edges. This is midpoint. This is all a big dance. They're playing salsa. Don't get your toes trod on, right? Just understand the dance they're doing. So back up we go to this level. This is the key level, right? We literally just talked about this when we're down here. Hopefully it comes back up here and makes a decision at this point. ES did tap into its initial balance low. So ES did complete the rotation from IB high to VWAP to IB low. Now it's going to go back to VWAP probably. Do I know of any fixed range volume profile with POC indicator for NinjaTrader? Yeah, NinjaTrader will have it. You will just need to pay for their volume data or whatever it's called on NinjaTrader. Everyone will have it. So back towards this shelf. You can see the shelf starts here at sort of 801s and it goes up to 818. And guess what's here? New York Open, VWAP, 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 lower time frame algo, deep pullback, everything's here. Order flow plus, there you go. Coop just said what it's called for NinjaTrader. So back into gut check that level. So ES has just gone IBL to VWAP instantly. And we're gut checking that level. And if we trade through that level, then we flip this back to demand probably. Rotation, 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 rotation. Does it make sense yet, folks? Guess what we're doing? Rotating. It's a rotating market. And if they reclaim this, a squeeze is available up to 58. And if they get through that, wouldn't rule out high of day all the way back there. Wouldn't rule anything out as they start to trap participants. That is their job today. Their job is to trap participants. Oof. Back to that New York Open and lower time frame algo and everything else. Back in this zone, starting to get acceptance back through this zone. So if we build out liquidity here, I would say if they manage to hold this, if they manage to hold this, they will try for this rotation, or at least to here, and then these. Okay, if they fail this, then they're going to come back down to these. ES already completed the move to IBL, so NQ has relative strength, did not complete that move. What are we doing here? Can we not do that, please? There we go. The two colors in the Sati one were just trying to show you the amount of buying or selling volume that came in that candle. I don't even worry about it. I care more about this. I never worried about it too much, to be honest. Everyone paid it too much attention. I just don't like the volume that comes with TradingView because it leaks over into the chart. That's all it was for me. Okay, so here's the pullback. Do they hold this pullback now and produce a higher low, and do they drive back up towards value or not? And the chop will continue in this area while they make that decision. We're just stuck at the 20-day right now. Not a whole lot to do here for me. Like, you know, I'm not a big rotational trader. Way prefer when we have a failed breakout or breakout. So this is just having to sit still somewhat today. Scalp when it's available and leave it when it's not there for the taking. Back to that New York Open, right? They need to make a decision here if they're going to bid off POC in New York Open. They're going to bid off it. We're going to go right back up to this level here, 59s, and then take out these highs. If they fail here, we're going to come right back down towards the lows. It's not an area that I'm really interested in trading. The midpoint of the initial balance range. Ugh. Someone will trade it, and someone will get caught. So ES back above its VWAP, trying to hold it. Everything's flat. ES looks just the same. So trapped liquidity here, and both sides available for rotation. It's probably the worst possible entry of the day here in this area, and this is where they're going to keep testing both sides backwards and forwards until they've got one side stuck enough to do the move that they're actually anticipating and wanting to do. So back towards that value area high like we talked about. Highly probable. Test that value area high. If they get through that value area high, then they're going to go back upside all the way to here, aren't they? And the rotation is going to continue. And if you are not respecting what I'm telling you, you are going to get hurt. So this now becomes blue, basically. This is your over-under the other way. All right, they've used the most volume here now. So boring. That's why all the move happened overnight. Now we have to consolidate. And then I don't even think tomorrow. I think Wednesday is when we get a good move. Just shy of that high, almost there. There you go. So value area high on the session now tagged. Now the question is, do they squeeze up for IB high, or do they fail in front of this and come back down to these levels? And it's just going to continue, folks. This is what's Wednesday? Midpoint of the week. Midpoint of the week. Weekly model. For those who have done my course, it's a weekly model. Not telling you more than that. Do the course. I give you too much edge on here for free, honestly. It's crazy. Oh, what a bore. What a bore. So VIX failing at 2050. So VIX stuck in that range. And the 700s to 25,000s are going to continue. I'm going to continue to be bored until I see a move outside of that. I couldn't give two you-know-whats about what happens in this 300-point rotation. There's no edge in here. If you think there's edge in here, you're mental. There's scalping in here only. So back into this value. Through here, if they want to squeeze, they run those stops at the 880s or wherever it is. What's that level there? 890, and then they trade back towards IB high. So look at ES. Have a look at ES, how well it's completed its rotations. IB high, VWAP, IB low, VWAP, just over, VWAP again, IB low, VWAP. Guess where it wants to go now? Pivot and then IB high. All right, there's the tag. Supply up here. If they squeeze through this, we go high of day. And it could do with a pullback here. And guess where that pullback could do with being to midpoint of range. I still don't think anything's trading outside of range on the Mac. Let me check. Tesla, inside. Nvidia, traded outside, back inside now. Microsoft is outside and breaking down underneath IBL right now. Meta, inside. Google, outside to the upside of that pre-market, but still inside of New York's range. Amazon, inside. Apple back inside as well. Pretty much closing the gap. Not quite, but pretty much closing the gap. So again, for me, there's no edge here, guys. We're just in a rotational market until it proves otherwise. All right, back to that supply like we just talked about. This is where we just failed from up here. All right, so if you're going to be bullish, if you're really bullish, you'd want to see a pullback here, hold for a higher low, and this would be the midpoint, which is kind of a gross trade, but you'd be looking for that. And this is my under over, really. This is the extreme, and this is the wash. Yeah, it's already taken out that pivot high that we're trying to trade up into 890. It's already taken out. Liquidity on the book at 900 now. What did everyone get up to at the weekend? I was lazy, man. I was by the pool pretty much all weekend. Got a good lift in, but I sunned myself. I watched the Rams. Oh my gosh, that first half from the Rams was horrific. How many fumbles and turnovers can you do in a half? It was some of the worst football I've seen. And caught up with the Gallagher Rugby Premiership as well. Some wicked games this weekend. Oh, Quinn's had a really good game. Good to see Marcus play so well. Okay, here's the rotation. So ES pretty much if you look at if you look at like a probably even a 1 minute chart, yeah, it's pretty much straight up off that IBL. So 30 points straight upside on a 1 minute since tagging IBL. Hilarious. So edge to edge. Edge to edge. Yes. Yes, Idris. I was short here for that breakdown and here for that breakdown. And that's it. I wanted to see if we do this move for a trade back up, and I'm interested if we do this move for a trade back down, or if we hold this, maybe that. I love that bullish move. I think it's very high risk. I think all the higher time frame sellers are waiting up here right now. Sellers are waiting here to absolutely hammer this market in between here. So I don't think any high time frame sellers have been filled yet for me. Very, very simple. There's your old weekly balance. There's the previous week balance high. This is where everyone is trapped. Smart money was short that breakdown. They're waiting for a price back in to reshort, to retest this low. Once we retest this low, if we stay bullish and hold it, and we reclaim this, we're bullish for all-time highs. Until then, we have not tested this fresh level. That's really what I'm waiting for. I think we get a failed breakout here, a test of that, and then a retest of that low. If we reclaim this, right, and we base above, then maybe they get the squeeze straight away. I'd find that somewhat unlikely given how much volume is trapped up there, but I would obey it. I'm not going to fight it. That's what I'm waiting for this week. Those are the moves this week. You went clay shooting on Saturday. Yeah, I know. No Prem, no F1. Where did you go clay shooting, mate? I love doing clays. Not done that in a long time. Watch Tampa Bay versus the 49ers. I didn't watch that game. What's his name had a massive game though, right? For the Niners. Oh, my back's starting to get sore again. For the Bucks, sorry. What's your QB called? He had a monster game from what I read. Okay, so maybe pulling back to that midpoint soon. Baker Mayfield, that's it. Thank you. Baker Mayfield. All right, maybe pulling back to this midpoint like we talked about. 35 minutes left. If you're lucky, you get some kind of build out down here and then take these out if you're lucky. But I don't like bidding not at the extremes. The offers should be here, the bids should be here. We've talked about that all morning. Here is dangerous, but if you're lucky, that's what it does. Just look how condensed you are in here. Look at everything in here. Ooh. Yeah, dude. Giants looked so good the other night. That was fun. That was fun to watch. Nice to have a bit of personality in the game as well. What happened in the Chiefs game? I'm sure there was like a fight or something. I haven't seen it. I just saw people talking about it at the end of the game or something. I haven't seen any videos or anything. Was it actually a fight or is it just a bunch of nothing? Effingham. So M25A3. That's awesome, dude. Nice. All right, here's the squeeze up. So they haven't really pulled back very much here before offering that squeeze up. You're not even at flow zones. The higher low has been set very, very high for this inverse right shoulder. It's very, very risky to play a continuation bullish move here with supply stuck overhead. They got trapped here and trapped here. It feels like it wants to trade into here at this point, but the deeper move would be better first. But this is feeling like it wants to go here and here. But you've got trap buyers here, trap buyers here. That is supply. It would be much better if they pulled back before offering this move. And the problem is if they pull back to here, you lack edge. All right, there's a reason they're building it out this way. $30 minutes left. We've really not moved very much today, folks. It's not the worst range, but really not moved very much. Okay, here comes the pullback. Can they come back down towards that sort of midpoint? The problem is, if they pull back down there and they fail that range, then you know what's going to happen. They chop more and you can potentially go back down towards the lower side of the range. The one thing, ES did sweep low of day, did it? It tagged it. Did it actually sweep it? No, that is to the tick double bottom there, 661.75. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Oh, really, Coop? Did they lose then? Lions lost then, and he just threw a hissy fit. Sore loser type thing. All right, new 30-minute bar coming here in 20 seconds. Do they offer a pullback before trying to sweep that liquidity out of the highs, or do they fail to take any liquidity at any range? Remember, today, NQ has failed both sides of the liquidity. It has not swept any liquidity. All it's done is tightened the range. Look at the low and the high made in the opening drive of New York and look at everything since. All right. Here's your low at the New York Open. Here's the high at the New York Open. We don't tag the low. We don't tag the high. All right. We're just in between all of this right now. We're condensing the range. Bias at the moment is probably an upside move, but can't trade that right now. It's probably an upside move to come and sweep everyone out. I would need to see it trade lower first for me to have any interest at all. And then even then, it feels very high risk to be trying to think about the move upside when higher time frame probably wants to set a lower high. Look at that H1. We've just gone sideways ever since 8 o'clock last night, basically. Would I take rotation back down to POC? It feels a bit risky now at this point because we haven't swept anything. ES has swept this. I just feel like it wants to pop all these guys. Flat top, flat top. I feel like it wants to do something like this. It might not even do this. For me, it's like I lack edge in here. Look at up here, top right, higher time frame, liquidity build. It's just going to trap. It wants to trap. It wants your money, right? It wants your money. That's what the market wants to do. It wants you to lean in and say, all right, I'm willing to risk here. And then it's going to go, thanks, you're my liquidity. Thanks, you're my liquidity. And it's going to do it for a little while until it's got enough people offside. And then it's going to go and do a big move. And that move can be wherever it wants. It doesn't have to be upside. I would, like I keep talking about, I want to see the upside move because I think there's higher time frame sellers hanging out up higher. So here's the first liquidity pop here. ES coming back into its high of day. It's an initial balance high. That's where ES is trying to trade into. Did it just tag it? Remember, ES has gone from IB high to IB low, from IB low to IB high. Pretty much straight. And we haven't seen much of a pullback. We are inside bars here, just inside everything. Would be nice to see us trade through 945 or at least these 900s. You've got a 900 seller on tape, but is there anyone above him? Probably not. A little bit into the 950s, which would be that Globex. I've got to roll my back out here, folks. Sorry. In pain again. Sitting at this desk too long. All right, so NQ just popped this high, failed to get up to the IB high, failed to even get into top rotation. We've got liquidity built here now. I'd say if they fail to hold 68, then there's a bigger drive back down to 38. All right, so if they fail to hold 68, this little volume here, and they're trying to protect this to do this move up here to take this out. All right, if they hold this, that's possible. I'm not going to bid off here, but if they hold that, that's possible. If they fail to hold this level here, they'd probably get a fairly big wash fairly quickly. I'd say big's like 30 points, but still. Just think there's just a lack of edge in this market. I don't want to become the market's liquidity. I just don't want to become the market's liquidity today. We've had some scalps. We'll be happy with that. If we can get a big breakout or a big fail breakout of a key level that I gave in the newsletter, then I will have more edge in this market. I'm very willing to play, fail reclaims, fail breakouts, or breakout reclaims of those 25,000 and previous week value area low. Absolutely fine. Want to do that? I'm all game. Don't love the bid up to that point. The bid up to that point was really from last night. Like the bid up to that point was from here. This is the bid up. Here is where I think big sellers are waiting. All right, so I don't really want to bid from here to here. It's not the worst. I know there's some room, but when you know the bid was from value, they're going from previous day to previous week is what they want to do. And then from here, they probably want to sell back down. And if they fail this, they go gap. So that's what I'm aware of at the moment. We do this as gray. It's just this is your over under. Right now it's demand because we're above it. What's this level here? 73s, did I say? And what's that little spike there? 67s. So they will need to hold 67s. And the way they built this liquidity is offering a drive right back down into here, back into the midpoint. This is not very bullish structure if they cannot hold it. They get under this, they're going to offer this, and then maybe they come back, maybe they fail. I don't know because we're in a range. There's no edge. You're waiting for a higher low today. I mean, I don't know why you would wait for a higher low or on the daily, or you're waiting to take a high or low today. I understand what you're saying, Caesar. Sorry, I had to read that twice. Right, they're trying to build out that liquidity. Point of controls just flip back up. They want to take out these highs and drive it up. Even the sellers want this to happen. Even higher time frame sellers want it to go higher at the moment. They want the best possible price to offer that daily lower high. We're just trading at basically the 20-day, between 20-day and 5-day. That's all this market's doing at the moment. This level, they're coming to check that little spike. This low volume node. If they fail this, there is a wash here. ES is failing initial balance high right now. Hilarious. I'm going to use the bathroom here, folks. Oh, man. Okay, if they fail this, there is a wash. You can see we bid straight up. If they fail this, they can wash. If they fail under here, they bid straight up. They fail under here, they wash down to here. The bid can be back off there, back to here. ES has come from here to here. It's literally just done this, ES. It's about as obvious of an inside rotational day as you could ever ask for. This is about as clear of a leave alone in my personal playbook as I get. Alibaba, I learned not to diddle in the middle and wait for clear structure. Watching your stream gives me more confidence. Thanks, Alex. You're welcome, Alibaba. You're welcome. YM blew right through the IB high. Yeah, maybe you got divergence there with that. Anu, as a beginner trader, it's a bit difficult to keep up with the terms you use. IB high, IB low. In your course, is it stated simple term for beginner? I go through absolutely everything in my course. What I would say is these are not complicated terms, right? These are industry standard terms. These are not stuff that I'm making up. Initial balance high, initial balance low. But yes, absolutely everything. I cover every single thing in my course. Everything is down below. If you're struggling to keep up, do yourself a favor. Just do the course, folks. One-time fee. It will help you out. Most people here have done the course. And you get free access to the Discord. No worries, my friend. But yeah, no nonsense terms here. I'm not making up BS terms like other traders, and I don't know what they've got now. All sorts of new types of terminologies coming out, complete made up. I just trade in industry standard terms, guys. Clear setups, repeatable clear setups. Okay, ES failing that IB high, coming back down to backtest its shelf. We're doing exactly the same thing on NQ. It's starting to look a little bit weaker on NQ. If it leaves point of control trapped up here, guess what? Buyers stuck up high, going to get trapped again. Guess where we're going to go? Wash back down. The rotation is going to keep continuing here, folks. People are going to keep getting caught offside. Oh, my poor neck and back. All right, like we talked about. So letting go of this, volume trapped again, failing to complete full rotation back up. Remember, since these pivots, we've failed to make a new high or a new low. I expect something in here and then maybe a bid off. And if they fail this instead, maybe it wash back down. But I don't really want to trade this level, and I don't really want to chase this move up here. I want to wait and see if there's some form of failure somewhere. A failed break somewhere is the only thing that's going to really perk my interest. And we've only got 15-20 minutes left. Like I said, I don't even think it's going to come tomorrow. I think Wednesday is going to be the day of interest. Maybe PAL tomorrow. I think PAL's tomorrow might get something going. Let me just double check that. But I think just based on structure, we might need a 2-day build out here. Where are we up to? Tomorrow will be the 14th. PAL tomorrow or Wednesday? Bowman tomorrow. Waller tomorrow. Collins tomorrow. Wednesday. CPI. If we get that, we might not get it with everything being closed. Bostic, Beige Book, Thursday, PPI, jobless claims. Philadelphia survey we should get even though they're closed. And builder confidence building inventories. I did answer your question, John. I draw it on. It's not an indicator. I did answer your question. I think you asked, is it an indicator or is that someone else? Okay, so here we go. Washing back down as expected. Range rotation continuing. And dripping back down to the downside. And then they're going to see if they can find a bid. And if not, they're going to go and test the other side of the extreme out again. And this is all we're going to keep doing all day long, folks. No worries, John. Back towards that sort of opening range kind of area. And if they can form a right shoulder here, maybe they build enough shorts trapped to get up to that Globex. Maybe. Let me just see something because I don't think I've just double check this. Where are my Globex levels? Ability, input. Okay, you've got to come off then. There they are. Yes. Globex still available on both indexes. Globex high if they can chat enough participants. Big if for me. Okay, watching this POC. If they start reclaiming this, they might have now got enough trapped. If they've got enough trapped here for an intraday little push, if they can reclaim this, they're going to go for IB high and Globex. If they get through that, they can back test previous week value area high. This is an area where I think higher time frame shorts are hanging out. I think they want to see a back test of that before they think about anything else. So that's what I'd be watching. We're still in liquidity building phase. Like I said, I wouldn't be buying back there. You expect to drift lower. They actually went to a weird point there, but it's because ES found a bid in its low volume node right on that pivot from 1036 to 1040 this morning. And this will be the battleground now. Do they produce lower high, lower low, or do they allow that squeeze back up into lunch? God knows what happens into lunch. You know, who knows? Here we go. POC, can I get through this node here? You can see this top node to the left. We've got a little bit of excess over this into 84s. If we get sort of over 84, 85, probable squeeze then into 900s, 913s, and if you're actually looking to trade this, 945s would be your target. What is ES doing? Why have I lost that on my screen? ES is not having that continuation bid right now. Okay, got through it, failed this top node, no acceptance, back down, probably back down to here, like I said. Do you get the point now, folks? Hopefully you get the point. This is all we're going to do. This is all we're going to do. We're going to keep rotating, 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 rotating until someone is caught offside enough for what their plan is, whatever that be. Ideally for me, I want the upside move, not because I want to get long. I need to see that back test of 25,000 and above. And once we get that back test, I want to see if we have a failed attempt to recover the old range. If we fail to recover the old range, there will be a short up there for sure. If they recover the old range, I would not want to be short bias. That's when you would get mega squeeze turn on. But until that point, the bias is short side, but we need to see a drive higher first. JJ getting dizzy. You just need to learn to leave it alone. That's all it is. It's no different to Friday. It's just the range is bigger. Do you remember on Friday we were in like a 50-point range? I was like, leave this alone. Leave it alone. Let them build it out. Let them trap everyone. At the moment, my bias is definitely upside. I want to see us rip upside here, squeeze all the early shorts out, use their liquidity to get up 25,000 and above, and then see how we act. Pretty please. All right? That's what I want to see. Doesn't mean we are able to do it, though, does it? It does not mean we're able to do it. Ugh. It's just nothing happening. Is it a higher time from Malgo? 78. Previous week open. Previous week open right at 25. 25.40 is where I'd really like us to get to. Build some liquidity between 25,000 and 25,040 would be mucho bueno for A+ short territory. Wani, I mean, the problem is we can give away a beginner trading course. I don't have any codes at the moment. The codes of what I do, but they're not working, so I can't give them away. I have. I spoke to Bella this morning, so I'm sure I'll get some for the remainder of the month. But yeah, we can give away like a beginner course. We can do that, no problem. We haven't got enough likes. We need to get that up to 125 likes. We are short on likes, folks. 125 likes, and we'll do some giveaways. I want to see this trade upside. All right, I want to see this trade upside at this point. I want to finish this rotation through here, squeeze through there. If you're long in this, if you took these longs off the rotation, if you were short here and long here, you're looking really good. TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4. It's that simple. The beginner course, yeah, the 99 course. Someone typed something then, and I didn't get to see it because Nightbot is adamant on deleting everything. Let me see what he said, Lou. Oh, no, it's all good, Lou. No worries. No worries. Yeah, lots of volume being built out up here now. We just want to see it drive out, sweep everyone out. I'd actually don't mind if we could close high today I'm not giving any more than that. If we can close high today, guys in Discord who've done the course, we can have a really good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Really good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We can close high today. I wouldn't want to see us close low today. It's going to ruin the setup. Have we got enough likes? Still short. 3 more likes, folks. Lots of you watching have not hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. I've given you the levels. They're for free. All morning I've given you the levels. In the newsletter I've given you the levels. What I'm expecting now I've given you. It doesn't mean I trade it. I only trade my system. I don't like trading range rotation. I've always been very, very open and honest about that. I don't trade it well. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. Range rotation is not a trade that I like. Buying these and selling these is not a trade I like. It doesn't mean you can't do it. Teach it in the course. I can show you where we're going to fail and where we're going to bid off. It doesn't mean I trade it. I like sticking to my rules. It's what keeps me safe. It's what's kept me profitable for years, is by sticking to my rules, what works for me personally. This is what I talk about all the time. Like, telling you my entries and exits is going to cost you money, because maybe some of you are very good range like players. Like, wants to stop one of you taking long here, risking here. You're up hundreds of points right now, or short here and short here for this. You don't have to do as I do. Really important you learn your own edge. Hannah, we'll see. We'll draw a winner now. Troy said, I took the long from the bottom but closed full position by accident and didn't leave runners. Hey, don't worry about it. It happens. Fat fingering, it's part of trading. Don't worry about it. Definitely what you shouldn't be doing is chasing back in, because if you had that good entry, don't get annoyed that, you know, it's now done a lot without you because you don't have runners. It's just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Let's draw a winner here. How long we got left? 5 minutes here. We can draw on that. Discord is only for people who do the beginner to the advanced course. It's completely free for people who do the main course. That's the only way you'll get in Discord. It is not a monthly membership. It's not open to people who don't do it. I've talked about it before. It's not about money. It's that I want everyone trading the same direction, helping each other out, especially when I'm not there. So it creates a good atmosphere of traders. There we go. Okay, if you've already won the course or you've already done this course before, you can either let me re-roll it and give it away again. Remember, it's just the beginner course. It's the 2-hour $99 course. Or you can give it to one of your friends. It's up to you. All right, so just type course in chat. Just type course in chat. That's all you've got to do right now. Here comes the start of the squeeze. They're trying to get up to that 900 seller, 24,900. You can see him on the book. There's an 81 lot up there. It's all they want to do is go and fill him. And if they get through that, they can tap into that initial balance high, which is just above the 10s. ES is lagging behind a little bit here. They want to try and get into that 900. Is what they're attempting to do. Give you a few more minutes here, folks. Oh, I'm so sore. And then rest of the week, we'll get back into Apex. In fact, while you guys are typing that in, let me just double check with Bella. There's a move to 900. Okay, so there you go. Value being tagged. IB high is your next level that you're looking for. A run of IB high 913s might well get you all the way up to 945 if you're still in this long. Let's pull the winner now in chat. Not that. There you go. The winner is the Daily Tail. Did you win last week, Daily Tail? Do you already have this, or have I just made that up? If not, then you can keep this course. So ES getting stuck at IB high there again, folks. Oh, nice. Okay, Daily Tail, just email me, info@flowzonetrader.com. Show me on your YouTube that it's you. Just send me a screenshot so I know it's you, and I will hook you up with the course completely for free. I'll sit with you guys here a little bit longer so you can see we're just trading value to value. Does this make sense today, folks? Why we've been so, like, you know, blasé about the day? We know what we're doing. We know the edges. It's not trading beyond those edges. New hourly bar here. Hopefully this has made sense to you today. I'll give it 5-10 more minutes just into lunch, just in case something wild happens. But we are starting to build out volume up here. In fact, if we do a profile, let's do it from, this is going to be P shape. A fairly balanced range with a gap up. So we're going to have to watch these same levels for later. So what I'd like to see this week is this. That's what I'd love to see this week, or maybe just into here. All right. Once we get down here, I'll be covering that short, whatever day or days it offers this short, I'll be covering in case we bid all the way back up at that point. Because all I want to see is a retest of supply and a retest of where we got thin. This is the leg I'm looking to play this week once we get here. If we get under that, great. If we bid back off and reclaim 25, then I'm bullish for all-time high. That's what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. I do not expect us to just go like this. I don't expect that to happen. I will be open to it. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but I don't expect that to happen. My expectation is we drive up, trap buyers up here, and then fail. And then fail. A couple more minutes. Check on the 5 minutes. And most things are neutral. There you go. That's letting you know liquidity building. Most things are neutral. Higher time frame is in liquidity building zone. We know we are building liquidity between high time frame algo, lower time frame algo. All right. And really, it's 20-day and 5-day. 20-day and 5-day are both here. That is so tight. We get 5-day, 20-day cross. Whee! We can get some fun and games. You can get some fun and games. All right, market's gone to sleep. ATR started pulling back towards 10s now. So we've gone from like 40s to 10s. That's me, Gonzo. Not a bad morning. A much better Globex session for me, though, than the morning. Edge was gone by the time we got to the charts. Normally happens, doesn't it? If we get a big move overnight, we know we're just going to go sideways. So same plan. Tomorrow, you know what to expect for the rest of the afternoon. Do not expect too much. These are the levels. Copy them if you need them. This, and I mean this a little bit, but less so now, to be honest. We've shifted it. Those are your levels. Don't expect too much in this market. Do not be trying to get long too high in this market. You should be zooming out and looking left. If you're not zooming out and looking left in this market, you're absolutely going to hurt yourself. All right. Zoom out. Everyone is stuck up here. You don't want to be long into this. You want to be long from here to this point. We've already done the move. All right. The move has happened. Bollinger to 20-day. It's happened. Right. You don't want to be trying to force your way in where these people who are in max pain are. Don't do it. Do not do it. You will end up crying. All right, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Those in Discord, I will pop in later. I'm going to set price alerts. Like I said, I'm expecting the moves to happen on that weekly model. I don't necessarily think they happen in this session. You never know. You never know, but ideally they happen in that weekly model. All right, big love team. Hopefully some of you made some good money with me on those rotations today. And we go again tomorrow morning. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. And please, size down and use hard stops. You're not going to need size in this market. All right, you do not need size in a market that is rotating 200 plus points. Peace and love, yo.